Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here live with breaking news. North Korea has had its ships turned back from China. Their main export is coal. And on top of that, the People's Daily, the major publication of Communist China, will put these articles on screen on the coal and on the People's Daily, has come out and threatened to nuke Communist North Korea if they try to start a war with the United States or if they keep threatening to nuke the carrier task force. So they've said that their vital interests are threatened by North Korea coming out and threatening to nuke the U.S. carrier task force, threatening to nuke Seoul, South Korea, threatening to nuke Tokyo, Japan. Now, we just showed you the article, and we'll show you tracks of this that are globally tracked of the 5 ships carrying coal turned back. And then there's the article, China threatens to bomb North Korea's nuclear facilities if it crosses Beijing's bottom line. I'm not backing this serious crime. And I'm not backing all this bravado in the South China Sea, but here's the bottom line. China has been threatening to take over the South China Sea. They've been boarding ships. They've got 90% of it. And Russia agreed to turn over the chemical weapons of Assad. That didn't happen. So the argument by Tillerson and Trump is we hit it because we don't know who's behind it. We want to appear strong. But I'll say this right now. Trump has been proven right so far, and China has blinked big time. So here's your headline. Here's your takeaway. China backs off after Trump threats in the South China Sea. Subheadline, will North Korea go all in and ignore China and the United States and go to war? We've had a ceasefire since July 27th, 1953. You have this insane third-generation dictator in charge. I'm not backing all this bravado, all this chutzpah, all this hubris with nuclear weapons. But I understand North Korea has been threatening everyone. They're the belligerent. Syria didn't start the war. Syria didn't do all this. Obama and the neocons and Hillary and the rest of them launched the war that started the war in Syria. That's why we're in the wrong being there. That's why they're flooding Europe with radical Muslims through Syria into Turkey right now. Europe allowed its borders to fall. But now, this is such a big deal to see China for the first time in modern history stand down to the United States. I wonder what Donald Trump in that 4-day meeting with the communist Chinese dictator said to them, because regardless, they're in the People's Daily saying, we will nuke you if you start a war. That's against our interest. And they're turning back their ships. Their main export is coal that their poor slaves in North Korea produce and then ship down to China. So David Knight, and, of course, Owen Schroyer here. I'm going to get out of the studio. I just popped in because you've already been covering this, but it just crystallized. They really have blinked so far. Where do you think this goes from here?
Well, you know, interesting, Alex. They're talking about this is dozens of ships. This is on Thomson Reuters Icon, a financial information analytics platform. It shows, they say, a dozen cargo ships.
That's right. It was 5. Now it's a dozen.
Yeah, going back. And they said it's about 2 million tons of stranded coal that's been there. So this is something that began back in February 26th. The Chinese said, look, we're gonna put some economic sanctions on you if you don't stop shooting these missiles wildly out into the ocean and making threats against people. And now they're taking it to the next level, saying, all right, just send the stuff home. We've had it sitting here for about 5 weeks. We're not going to take it. Just send it back home. So that's a very positive response, especially what you're talking about, if they are saying in their official mouthpiece paper that they're going to nuke North Korea if they get belligerent, because that's the concern that everybody had.